Hi, I'm Steve Morrison, also known online as Shade to Grey, because most of my pieces are actually grey. This particular build is inspired by the TV series Game of Thrones. It's their interpretation of the Titan of Braavos, which is George Martin ripping off the Colossus of Rhodes. Spent a fair amount of time trying to figure out how to get all these pieces to build on a ridiculous diagonal. You notice there's studs out in every direction. And he sat on my desk taunting me until about 3 weeks before the show, and I realized that, hey, not only is this thing not ready for Brick Fair's a week earlier this year. Yeah. So had to go through and do a couple panic marathon builds, and then repeat those the first day here because the armored kilt fell apart in the car up with all the road vibration.
Now, is there any specific technique that you use to kind of conceptualize the whole build? Like, did you use graph paper, 3D modeling, or did you just kind of go for it?
Well, and in my real life, I actually have to use computers on a regular basis, so I use absolutely no technology when I'm dealing with this stuff. So it was all based on hand sketches and just playing around with the individual bricks. But the interior design is all basically Technic boxes put together. He breaks into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 intentional pieces. More so if you hit a pothole.
Maybe 10 or 12 pieces if you're hitting potholes.
Well, every time I hit the pothole, you hear that little chinky noise. It's like, oh, crap, that's more stuff I'm going to have to put back on before the show opens.
Yeah. So what was the shield design like? Was that a tough part of the build, or how did that go?
That was a tough part of the build because I tried doing it originally with plates to keep it relatively light. And just didn't like the look of it. Didn't quite have the radial symmetry that I wanted. But it was always this trade-off because if you notice, the arm is not supported on the underside, so I had to try to keep it light enough such that it could take the weight of the whole thing. So yeah, this shoulder actually goes straight across. The two arms come in, and then there's a peg through the spine that holds the arms in place. So both arms are basically cantilevered through the shoulders inside of a Technic cage.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really interesting angling going on. Like you have the body almost angles forward, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay.
Yes. No, that's intentional. There's a couple cheese wedges inside the heels that is just pitching them forward just a couple plates high.
It's very easy to get something to stand up straight, right? But then to get it to stand at an interesting angle, that's interesting.
And similarly, the head pitches forward just a hair to try to give you that, the perfect effect of staring at the boats coming into the harbor.